the staff goes. This will cause the Taurus trap here to shoot a column of flame into the strange furnace thing, which will activate it. Now that that's done, you want to head over here to the area just in front of the bonfire for a little area down. Don't forget to praise it. This is kind of like a sun. Rip Solaire, by the way. Alright, this place is not fun. There are 3 of those giant enemies. Try to go for a hit here, so they go as planned. There are a couple ways to go about that. You can bait them over here into these Taurus traps. Just make sure to not get blown up by the weird barrel-wielding hollows. And not get trapped in the corner, like I just did. It shouldn't be too big a problem, though. No, it's a problem. Just jump right back in. And there's the first. There are 2 more. There's him right there. There's one over on the far right-hand side guarding those 3 bodies, and there's one over here guarding the key forward. The only item here you really need is the key, so fast enough that you should be able to go grab the key and then just jump off the cliff and end yourself, or try and maneuver these guys over here. Just make sure you keep him in the fire. You don't want to be stuck over here and realize that he isn't taking about 1,000 per cycle. 1,200 actually. Not bad. Gave me a Titanite slab. He doesn't always do that. Also, these guys will slow your movement speed if you're close to them, so just roll out the way. And no, I'm not just coming up with this stuff as I go. I actually knew this, I just not the best with commentaries yet. Right, 2 cycles more. But no, he should be still in the flame. Yeah, he's definitely dead. Okay. There are a number of good items. I believe there's a body over here that gives you 3 fire drake stones. Over on the right and on the left. There are a number of souls. Along with this key. That key is essential, by the way. It's the only way to access the boss and the areas. Well, it's not essential, but it definitely helps. Especially if you're trying to 100% this area. I guess the fire drake stones are somewhere else. Oh, I'm surprised he survived. Anyways, now that that's done, you can just go ahead and homer run out of here. We'll be coming back here later. Not that area we just went through, but that little foyer area. The foyer area is what this area is called. Oh, no, I forgot. There's a key here. Or a door. Just run past all of these things. Open this door. If you're quick, you can turn around and not touch the bloodstain, but close the door. Yeah, curse is inevitable. Enemies can't lock onto you through doors, so you should be good to homer bone out of here. You can't homer bone out when there is a dark spirit, or if you get hit by an enemy that breaks your poise. Otherwise you're good. Let's make your way back over to here. Darn, if you're fast enough you can get done your first cycle. This is a good precaution. Also, there's an item over there. I missed it. It's not terribly important, so I'll just get on the way down a little later on. Get off here. There's an elevator here. get off on the right. We can access the gate over there, but we'll be doing that later. As you don't have nearly... Well, you have one less smelter wedge, the thing that destroys the idols, than the amount of idols that you can access right now. So, well, you can access all of the idols, but you won't be able to destroy all of them. You'll be forced to leave one in existence, and there are 4 in the area down there with the boss, so you definitely want to skip at least one. Just as good precaution. This wall right here can be broken. Not going to go for it, though. There are a number of enemies here. Just run through, bait them all. Bait them over here to this tourist trap. And just watch them burn. Kind of sad, really, but it's just their luck, I guess. And awesome. That's 5 enemies down. The single trap, like 3 sword swings. Talk about killing 5 birds with 1 trap. Okay, should be a chest over here. Yep, those are 4 smelter wedges. There are 11 in total, but there are 12 idols. Oh shoot. Just got it. Alright, now you want to swing around here to the big doors that I told you to ignore last time. You can make this jump. Here's the platform. Kind of risky. Got it though. Otherwise you can just wait for the platform, but where's the fun in that? And there's another one of these guys. Just run past him for the time being. Run in here, open this door. There'd be another idol. Remember, you have to kill these things, otherwise those guys will get permanent heals. Really? Please? Thank you. Once you pull out the smelter wedge, you're immune to all damage. Until the wedge is properly in the thing. Also, they will get heals until... This guy, he's like really going at it. Usually isn't this aggressive. Still pretty aggressive though. God. Completely trapped. Oh, thank you. Just doing business with you. Off. Yeah, actually, it's pretty good tracking. It's nice to survive there. You can usually kill these guys by strafing around to the left, underneath their weapon, and then just getting 2 or 3 hits off in their butt. And remember, they stun lock at 20% health. Now there's a few more things. I'm pretty sure this contains a body. The one to the right of here is empty. No, it was the other way around. This one is empty, and the one to the right of here has a body. 3 bodies, actually. They have a good deal of Titanite on them. I think one of them gives you 10 Titanite shards. Which is enough to take your weapon up to +3. A standard weapon, that is. This one isn't a mimic. Again, no mimics here. Life rate +3. That gives you 12.5% increase to your max HP. So, body. That's good. Nice. Oh, by the way, after you roll, there's a short period of time afterwards where you can break boxes just by walking through them. See if I can't do it. It wasn't rolling there, I just walked through it. So you can use that to get around that area right there without having to worry about falling off. Anyways, use a Homer bone to get out of here. We're done with this area. There is one more area before the boss. And it is, in my opinion, perhaps one of the hardest bosses in the game, if not the hardest. Try and fight legitimately. So, there is a way you can cheese him. I forgot the item. No matter. It's not important. Something. This is just... No. What is this place? Oh yes, it has a body. Nothing amazing. Is there a thing here? actually not too familiar with this one particular location. Everything past here, though, is pretty familiar, though. Alright, there's going to be a thing. We passed by it. It's going to be on the left. Or, no, that's not it. It's going to be over here on the left. There's a little imprint where it goes. There's a little cutout, actually. Now you want to turn around. See that thing over there? And make a jump to it. And the chest, just around the corner to the left, is going to be a strength ring. It's sort of like the dex ring from earlier, but, you know, for strength. Drop down here is going to be a single enemy. You do not want to knock him down. There are 2 enemies, I believe, down there. Drop this guy. Doesn't make a difference. Nope, just one. This is where you ignore him. Oh, I guess we're one above my thoughts. Yeah. Usually you enter in a different layer, but I guess that was the second one. The 2. The first one being the one with the strength. Nice. 2 enemies. God, which one of these is 2 enemies? Also, do not step on this. It will break, and it can drop you down multiple layers at a time for a lot of fall damage, and a lot of enemies to follow you. Not gonna try and drop attack this guy, because this guy sucks. Just unlock. Alright, that's the last area. There's one more, but it's not the same as the previous ones, and that it has a solid floor, thank goodness. There's another one of those fire-breathing, fire elbow guys. Again, just circle around him, get off 2 or 3 hits, and avoid his attacks. Try not to get kicked. It's not likely that you'll be able to pull the lever that he was guarding unless he's dead, so you pretty much have to fight him. Like Glow, he isn't terribly strong, just has a lot of HP and really wide arcs to his attacks. Alright, should be a good kill. Not for ballsy strats. I wasn't aware this guy can make me bleed, but I guess it makes sense given his weapon. Alright, he should be stun locked. There we are. And now just kill him. Assume he doesn't kill you first. Okay, good. I want to fight that thing a second time. Alright. Past here is a area with a magic clutch ring, I believe. It increases your magic attacks. Your magic attack damage, rather. It's going to be over here on the right, otherwise there's an elevator down. I'd recommend taking the elevator down, but it's faster to go this way. So that way you don't have to come back up later. Sorcery clutch ring. Yep. Sort of the same thing. And now this area is completely safe. Enemies can't access you here, so if you're interested in PvPing or what have you, it's actually not a bad place to fight. It's kind of like a sun. As soon as you enter, there's a fog gate. Do not enter into it. That thing will destroy you if you do that. Now I gotta take care of its helpers first. Remember, these things will heal any enemies. And in this case, a boss. There are 4 down here. If you have limited smelter wedges, then I recommend getting the 2 ones nearest the boss gate. The one I just got, not this one, and there's another one over to the right of it. Kinda look like I broke it. I don't think any of these ashen bodies have items on them. Not that it matters too much, we're here for the big prize. Actually, that's not true. There is a body around here that has 3 large titanite, or 3 titanite chunks on it, I'm pretty sure. But there's also a really big enemy right here. You want to stick to this side, and you should be able to avoid him. If you stand over against the wall right there, he'll spawn in as you run by. I think this is... It's either one of these. No. Somewhere nearby, though. Also, a really nice thing about this area, you can rest at the bonfire here without having to worry about the enemies blocking you from being able to do so. I don't think they can get into this area right here. Anyways, for the boss, first thing you want to do is de-equip your shield. Sounds nuts, I know, but trust me, if you get hit by this thing, yeah, bad things. Anyways, unequip the Silvercat ring. Equip your ring ablaze. And I believe that is it. Gonna check my guide. Wrote about a page on this guy, so... Again, missed the Flame Quartz ring +3. It's on a body. It's just outside. And normally you'd want to equip the ring of binding, but since I'm human, it's not important right now. So, as soon as I enter the boss arena, I'm going to explain how to fight this guy before I engage him, because I really need to focus for this fight. It's not an easy fight. It took me about 5 hours my first time around, non-stop, of course. Nearly lost my mind doing it. Anyways, he has two phases. The first phase, which you can bait out by wearing the Vistalt helm, which you can buy from the armor in Majula after giving him 15,000 souls and killing Vistalt, probably pronouncing that wrong, the Royal Aegis, and then going and resetting the area, buying it from him for about 8,000 souls, I think. Just equip it on your head. He'll initiate the second phase right away. Anyways, first phase. It's pretty simple. You just want to keep strafing to the left, and whenever he does his 3-hit combo, he does a wide swing, another wide swing, and then a lunge attack, sometimes followed up by 2 of his Ultra Great Sword swings, which you can easily just stand behind. You'll know if you can avoid his Ultra Great Sword by standing behind his back right, just standing right behind his back right heel. He can't quite get you there, even though the animation does show it. Well, you're completely immune there, so you can heal or do whatever you want. Speaking of healing, if you try to heal behind him while he's swinging around, then he'll always do his overhead swing attack, which will turn his sword red and make it so that way he can't enter into the second phase. His sword will stay red for about 20 to 30 seconds, so if you're having trouble with the second phase, which I had a lot of trouble with, so no worries, then just keep using your Estus Flask to bait out his overhead sword swings. I'm sure there are videos on that. In fact, I know for a fact there's at least one video. So go check that out if you want to know more about that, because I'm not nearly that educated on it. Alright, anyways, when he's doing his 3-hit combo, I mentioned it earlier, two horizontals, 1 overhead, and the 2 ultra great sword swings. You want to dodge to the left, and then dodge directly in front of him. If you do that, then you'll miss both of his side swipes, and then you'll miss his lunge, but occasionally he will do an ultra great sword swing, so you will have to dodge roll a 3rd time out of the way, after hesitating for a moment. Anyways, oh yes, one more thing. He will occasionally do a quick swipe from his top left shoulder to his bottom right, opposite for you, of course, so top right, bottom left for you, from your perspective at least. And you can easily just dodge roll around that by dodging to left or right. I'd recommend to the left so you can keep that constant left strafing going. Second phase is quite a bit more difficult in my opinion, a lot more interesting too. He puts away his little baby sword, I guess you'd call it. It's barely anything compared to his ultra great sword. It looks sort of like a katana actually, and he'll only use that. He'll stick it into the air once he's taken about 30 hits, or has gone his health bar down to about half, and he'll burst into flame. It's sort of a dark flame, and then he will initiate the phase, allowing you to get off about 5 hits. Speaking of which, during the beginning of the fight, you can usually get off about 4 to 5 hits, giving your stamina bar plenty of time to recover. And anyways, the second phase, basically what you want to do for the entirety of the fight is position yourself just to the left, or just to the right of his right hand leg, and then roll past him on his right-hand side, your left, of course, opposite for you. So that way you can cause his attacks to cancel out in mid-cycle, allowing you to get off about 2 hits per cycle. Well, for his cycle, of course. You always want to keep your health, or your stamina bar above half, your health bar at least at 3/4. Speaking of which, he has a few attacks, one of which is his wide swing, which will cover the entire area in front of him and around him about a few feet, just past his left heel, behind it, of course. So if you do what I said, where you dodge just past him on the left, or his right, your left. I'm going to stop saying that, it's starting to get confusing. I'll just say your left, and then stand direct, or just maneuver yourself slightly to the right, so that way you're directly behind him, where his spine would be, or just behind his right heel. Then you should be safe to get 2 hits off. Otherwise, you can heal for about 2 uses, I would say. You can know when his animation is about to end because he sort of shakes his sword at the ground. He does a brief shake of his sword downwards. Anyways, he also has another attack where he gives off a little scream, I guess you would say, and then plunges his sword into the ground, and then pauses for a second, and then shoots out a circular wave of fireballs that twist while they're moving outwards. If you can maneuver yourself so that way you're positioned in between the fireballs, then you should be able to dodge them and get off at least 3 Estus Flask uses, which is more than enough to get yourself back to full in most cases, since you at all times should be at near max health for the fight. So that should cover it. The fight itself, although I probably made it sound really difficult, isn't nearly that difficult if you just follow this method. You basically never have to dodge, and all of your attacks should be 2-handed light attacks, not heavy attacks, and then the fight will be over before you know it. So with that being said, equipment's good, rings are good, no shield, got plenty of healing. Let's get started. That's the Fume Knight fight. Took me a few tries, but I finally got it. I managed to kill the Fume Knight. So recycled it. Pure shield. You'll need your flame darts where we're going. You'll need your blood bite. Probably don't need to use a human effigy, but it doesn't hurt to have a bit of extra health. There's the gates. You're gonna get invaded by 4 dark spirits. Yeah, another smelter wedge. Yeah, I told you it'd run out. You get the last one from killing the next boss. And make sure to equip the Drain Lake armor. Alright, so you'll need the Ashen Mist Heart if you don't already have it to access the boss. Get the Ashen Mist Heart by talking to the Ancient Dragon, just past the Dragon Eyrie. Sorry, not as upbeat anymore. I hate that fight. Alright, human effigies here. Make sure to bait out the fire lizard over there in that hallway. So that way you can run past it. A decent amount of treasure in this area, but I don't go for it because none of it's too good except for those human effigies. Man, barely survived that place. We'll come and meet you halfway down, blocking you from heading up. A small hallway leading over to the stairs. This fight is kind of like a polar opposite to the Fume Knight, in that the entirety of the fight you want to be dodging around him on the right, not the left. All of his attacks can be avoided by rolling past him on the right, except his jump attack, but you'll see that. He does a lunge, or he does 2 more slices. He did the lunge there. Yeah, he does pre-fire you a bit with that attack, so you want to hesitate. 2 of his slices. Or kick. Okay, not gonna heal yet. He's probably gonna kill me. Oh, sorry, leg. Oh god, managed to miss that. When he does that dark lunge, it usually takes about a half a second to a second to charge, and then if you roll past him on the right, last second as always, then you should just barely miss it. It's rather difficult to avoid, but see, it's very difficult to avoid because it has a very wide AoE to it. Anyways, can't heal quite yet. If you hit him while he's doing this, then it'll riposte you. You can always heal during that. Get off 2 heals. Alright. I think you can... No, don't want to do that. You can hit him while his sword is held straight up, but when it's held to the side like he did earlier, then you aren't able to. This fight is perhaps one of the longest in the game. But it's fairly easy so long as you keep your wits about you and just remember to get your rolls right. Don't do it, I just did right there. He's probably gonna go for either a jump or... yeah. Lunge, get 2 heals. Great RNGesus. Didn't want to go for the swing there. A little low on Estus. It's only a 3rd down, so it's a ways to go. The fight gets progressively easier as it goes on, thankfully. Not only because he does that a lot less often, because he does his jump attacks, which are easy to avoid and counter. Like that one right there. Does a small amount of damage. You do get stepped on or boom stomped. But he's gonna go for his... yeah, if he does that and if you hear that weird shrieking noise, then you'll know that he's going to do one of his side swipes. To get a little aggressive there. No matter. It's only... remember, don't get Goomba stomped. Keep your stamina above half, so that way you can tank one of his combos, or that, if needed. Yeah, it's a great opportunity to heal. He's at about a 3rd of his HP. Not sure I avoided. He's about 1,500. Or not 1,500, that'd be super easy. He's about 15,000. I think he has roughly 14,000, but isn't it nice to just rip it off? Managed to get that. Seems to go at varying intervals depending upon the distance. He's probably gonna go for his side. No. Not the best at this fight. Usually only takes you about 3-something tries. Honestly, like I said, the hard part is just getting to the fight. The fight itself isn't that tough. Game creators aren't that cruel. I mean, they're cruel as hell. Definitely sadistic, but they're not evil. Lunge attack, get up 2 or 3. Oh, I should have there. Yeah, see, took a really long time to charge it up. Definitely. Alright, this should be a kill. GG. Okay. Went for one last, last ditch resort. Alright, it's gonna be a smelter wedge. And that should be the full memory. Examine it to leave. The prowlers would have despawned by now, so you can just warp away. Escape. Never mind. I didn't realize that I skipped past this one the first time, so it all works out. That will be your 12th Soul in Adalia. So that is yep. Your Soul in Adalia, Bright of Ash, not a fragment this time. Now my body will forever be on the elevator. The idea for the Elan Knight, or Srsly, which is on the idea for the Elan Knights. Sure to check back in next time. We'll be going through the Burnt Ivory King DLC. Until then.